Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you have stopped by. If you don't know me, my name is Bethany. I am a mom to 6 kids. I have 5 at home learning right now, 1 in college, ages from 19 all the way down until 1, and we are a passionate homeschool family. Today, I really wanted to dig in to another subject as we're talking about homeschooling for free this year, because I am that crazy person who's just decided I am tired of buying curriculum. I am tired of being unsatisfied with curriculum. I'm tired of spending so much money on curriculum, especially with such an oversaturated market, and that I am so ready to just be free of it. So that's what I've done this year. I didn't buy any curriculum, and I'm kind of going out on my own, and today I'm going to talk about how we do geography. So without further ado, let's get to today's video. So I don't know about you. For me, when I was in elementary school, I learned about geography in the 4th grade. We spent a whole lot of time, and all we talked about really was the United States geography. And so we learned our states and our capitals, and that is basically it. I probably learned half of my capitals. I learned all the states, about half of the capitals. If I'm being really honest with you, I still have a hard time with them. And so when I started homeschooling, I knew that I wanted to do geography differently. And how can we do that? And I didn't really want to buy another curriculum, obviously not this year. So for many years, we have kind of done our own thing with geography. And the first thing is that it's paired up with my history. And I know I keep promising a history video. I am aware. I get tagged in so much stuff on Facebook or Instagram about history, but I have a hard time articulating how we do history. And I actually sat down and filmed an entire video about our history, and that was on my previous recording device, and the video was unusable. So, and then I went back and I watched it, and I was like, ugh, I don't know, because there are just some things that I want to say about history, and I'm not quite sure how to articulate it yet. So I promise it is coming. I'm just not quite there yet. But today I will tell you about how I do geography, and my geography is paired up with my history. So wherever we're studying in history is where we're really studying in geography. It's just a simple way to do it. It's an easy way to do it when you're studying the ancient world or world history or United States history or whatever. You can really focus on the area that you're talking about geography-wise. It helps with your younger kids to get the knowledge of the world of being, I like to start small and then go big. So this is my home. This is our street. This is our city or our town. This is our state. This is our country. This is the world. This is the planets, the universe. Or, and what I've also done, because actually I've done it both ways, you can do, this is the universe. This is the world that God created. And then God created these 7 continents, and here are the oceans, okay? And then you can say, this is where we live. This is our country. This is our state. This is our city. This is our house. There's different ways to do it. I've done them both. I think they both work equally as well. And you know what? I need to shut my door. Hold on, please. Sorry. I realized my door was open and my kids were like, ah! And I actually forgot to mention that if you see there's a blanket over here and it's moving, I do have a baby napping in here because that is what happens here. Oh, I lied. He is now awake. Oh, hey. Hi. Oh, hello. Oh, boy. Okay, well, we're going to take a break. We'll be back. So, we're going to see how this goes with having him here. And I've now forgotten where I was. Woo. Yeah? It's very professional here. Anyway, okay, back to geography. A couple of other things I do with my... What did you say? With a couple of other things I've done with my little guys in geography. So really learning our address and our home. That is such an easy way to do it. There's also a book, and it's free, and I'm going to see if I can find the link for it. It's called Home Geography, and I downloaded it to my Kindle, and we have used that a couple times, and it's full of a lot of really, really great stuff in it. Yes, Diane? Oh, you're gonna look at the book. Okay. And so I've also done like books like Paddle to the Sea and Seabird. Those really beautiful, rich books, and there's a lot of geography in those, and you can actually find curriculum like online for those. And it's a really great way to kind of dip your toes into geography. Realistically, I find it hard to understand geography until like really the upper elementary school kind of time. It's very difficult to understand how big the world is and where things are when you're little, just like it's hard to learn a history timeline when you're little. So visuals are really good, maps are really good, globes are really good, definitely. And like, let me just tell you, if you don't have a globe, go to a yard sale. I guarantee you, almost, I mean, don't take my, I guarantee you'll be able to find a globe. Baby has left us. Anyway, so yeah, if you go to a yard sale, you can find a globe, I promise you. And actually, one time in a yard sale, we found this huge, I mean, like huge, like, oh my goodness, like blackboard sized map of the United States, for free, just like hang out there. It was actually free. It wasn't even a yard sale. So it's easy to find that stuff. Like, just if you have a little bit of patience, look for it. The other thing that I've done is like, just globes are like the kind of things that people don't really want to keep. So if you like go on like Facebook, be like, hey, anybody have a globe? You're gonna get like 15 people be like, yes, we've had this globe in our attic for like 7 years. Please take it. It's easy to find that stuff without investing or spending a lot of money. And of course, if you can't find it or you do just want to purchase it, Amazon, Walmart, those things are great for those. Places are great for those things. So yeah, so those are just some tools that you can have for geography. Compasses are really good too. And don't forget, like, part of geography is like learning how compasses work, learning longitude and latitude. We watched a video the other day in our history on how did they navigate their ships or the world, or it wasn't the world at that, I mean, it was the world, but they weren't fully going across the world at that time. Well, they did. Anyway, without a magnetic compass. Like, how did they do that? How did they figure that out? And so those are just really important things. And the other thing that is so awesome, like where you're at in history, especially like pre 1500, those maps are so cool to look at. Like if you start like looking at, maps from the year 1100 AD, and then you look at now and like how their attitude and how they change or how different countries have changed, it is so much fun. Anyway, I'm getting beyond myself. So as I said, in our history, wherever we're reading is what we're going to be talking about in our geography. And it's a very easy to transition. Like, I don't sit down with my kids and say, like, now we're going to do geography, you guys. It's just not what we do. So when we're talking about a place, like today, we're reading about Mexico and about Montezuma and about Cortez and how he came to Mexico. And so what can we do? We can open up an atlas or a map, and we can look at that and look at what it looked like then. It's so easy to just Google Maps, use Google, find a map for that time and see where they came. Like, where did they come from when they went from Spain? How did they get there? Okay, they went through Cuba, they got there. And you can talk about that area. What is the terrain for that area? What is the weather like? What animals live in that area? Do they have 4 seasons? All of those things you can go ahead and easily combine as you're doing your history. And it is an organic way to do it. And I promise, like today, when we start talking about Mexico, they have questions about Mexico, and we can just say, well, Mexico is like a huge country, but here's where Cortez landed. Here's where Montezuma was, right? And you can just begin to look at like, well, where's the culture then, or where was it then, and where is it now? It's such a beautiful, organic way to learn about different cultures and about the world without it being like, here, fill out this map and let's do map drills, because it's not really fun for anybody. And you're piquing their interest when you're talking about the history and you're talking about the things that happened. Like today, they were really captivated by this story of Montezuma. It was captivating. And so their interest was piqued, and then they wanted to know, and then forever they're going to connect those things together. And then of course we did some art with that as well, because it's a great way to introduce art, and I'm going to cover that in another video. So that's kind of how we do it. And some of the tools that we use are, we have different atlases. So this one, this poor baby is a little rough. This poor baby, I think I got off of thrift books or eBay like a while back. And it is a really wonderful atlas, but my dog did not feel that way. And it has seen much better days. So I am definitely on the lookout for another copy of this or similar. But this is just the Reader's Digest Children's Atlas of the world. I realize that that's not even focused. And it's just so beautiful. Like, it just has so much interesting facts in it. It's just really, really wonderful. So this is a great thing. And you know what? Using, like, I think using an atlas is far more of an important skill than being able to fill out a map. Because I just do. Because, like, how many times in your adult life have you had to fill out a map? The next atlas that we have is, this is the Young People's Atlas of the United States. Again, Amazon, FrickBooks, eBay, something like that, a long time ago. There are so many different versions of atlases. I know Usborne has beautiful ones. They're easy to find. And if you're just patient and go through, like, you know, thrift stores, yard sales, whatever, libraries, like when they're getting rid of those books, it is pretty easy to find atlases. This one really breaks down each state. Hopefully that's in focus, that you can see. And then, you know, we've got some land markings here. So it is nice having a children's world one and a children's United States one if you're in the United States. If you're in a different country, obviously. And then we actually have this where I'm trying to think, because I got it recently and I cannot remember where I got it. I think somebody was giving out books like on the side of the road, which we all know I just love so much. And so I grabbed this one. This is another Reader's Digest, and it is the Wide World Atlas. This is obviously an adult one. You know, it's a lot more intricate. The only thing that I will say is that this is, like, definitely dated. So it is important because countries do change and areas do change and names do change occasionally. So, you know, it's important to keep that in mind when you're looking at an atlas and when it was published. So yeah, those are our atlases. Those are the three that we have in the house. We've had globes. We actually don't have one currently. My kids are they're just rough on stuff. Like, I don't know if it's because I have so many kids. Like, I don't know. So anyway, at some point we'll get another globe, I'm sure. And yes, the other thing that I picked up actually this summer, and I, like, shared it in my free homeschool group. I was like, sorry guys, I did buy something this year. Yes, but it was actually for our road trip and not for schooling. But, like, I bought it, of course, knowing that it was really for school. And this is America's 50 States, and we got this at that's the baby. I think it's called Martell's or Mardell's, and it was in Colorado, but it's like a Christian teacher supply store. So I, of course, had to go in there. And this was so much fun on our road trip because you could just pick out the state, and it just had little facts about it. It has the capital, just different little things about it that was so awesome to have. And it's great to flip through. And so when we talk about different states, they can easily go to it and read about it. But as we were driving through different states, it was awesome because they would be like, hey, did you know that this country, you know, this state has this? So it's just really, really awesome. Great little tool, not a necessity. It's just nice to have these kind of things. And then I also on that trip bought like a laminated just map of the United States, which I went to go grab, and I'm not sure what my children did with it. So that was great to have in the car as well, especially for like a road trip. But those are our tools that we use for geography. And that's basically how I do it. There's not like a whole lot more to it. We will use Google, we use our atlases, we talk about it. I might have them like, hey, you want to make a map? We might make a map. They usually hate that. We usually don't. But that's basically how we do geography. We haven't really like memorized states and capitals, except for on our road trip when we were driving through, we really like began to talk about it. And I realized that that is an important skill to have. I just don't think like a first grader can really just be like, really grasp it, you know? So I would much rather, as this year we're really doing this American history and, you know, as we're starting about it being colonized, is to really like begin to learn like how, you know, how the capitals are established. And as we're going through history and we're covering that we began talking about the states and then how their capitals are established and then going that way and learning them that way instead of just being like the capital of Connecticut is. I just think that that's a much easier, more organic way to teach it. That's how I want to teach it. You might want to teach it differently, and that's okay. And then the last thing that I wanted to share, and I know I am all about free here, but the last thing that I wanted to share is something that I am so excited. Like, I'm like beyond excited to share with you guys, and it's something that I've wanted to do for a long time because I've seen it for a long time. I just haven't done it, and that's a subscription to Letters from Afar. I have had friends who have had subscriptions for years, and it just isn't something that we've been able to do, which is crazy because it's like $6 a month. But it's still, it just wasn't something we were able to do because, you know, when you're on a tight budget, it's just not. And so we signed up. I figured since we're not buying curriculum this year, you know, it's okay to kind of like go into some of these other things. And so we actually got, like, we signed up, and like within a week and a half, we got our letters in. And you guys are going to think I'm crazy, but you guys know that we are huge fans of Andrew Peterson's The Wing Feather Saga. And so we have like an ongoing thing with our kids where we just like merge our last name with Feather. Like Wing Feather. And so it was addressed to that, like we made this whole thing like the blank Feathers Adventurer family. And when they got it, they were like, who is this from? It's the Wing Feathers. It's from Jenner. And I was like, no, it's real. It's real. And so if you don't know what Letters from Afar is, you basically get this in the mail, this gorgeous letter, and I'm going to show it up close and personal to you guys in just a minute. And it comes in this like vintage craft paper envelope with a beautiful seal on the other side, and it's addressed to whoever you want to address it to. And it is letters from somebody named Isabella as she travels the world. And so they're beautifully done. They're hand illustrated, stunning. Like, just like, we were like, oh my goodness, these are so stunning. And it's basically like the front page of the letter and the back, and it's talking all about a certain location. So the ones that we got in this month were and I got two, so I don't know if that's common to get two or if it's just because of when I subscribed. I'm not sure. If you know, let me know below. So the first one was the Serengeti in Tanzania, and that was really awesome. And then the other one was Java. I don't know if I'm saying that right, so I apologize. Yeah, Java. I think it's right, but Indonesia. And so it's got this beautiful illustrations. I'm going to show it up close to you guys in just a minute. But these are such a fun thing to do. You just get them in the mail once a month, and you read all about a location, and then you can research further as your children's interests are peaked, and that's just what we did. They were interested in them. We looked them up on maps. We talked about the people who live there. It is wonderful. And the other thing that we decided to do is when we get these letters in the mail is we just take time in our evening devotional to just pray for the people of that country or that location, not country because it's different cities, but you know, so for the people in the towns covered in this one and for the people in this one. And what I would love to do, or what I'm hoping to do, is just to commit for the month of just praying for people there. And you could even take it one step further, is you could even like try to find missionaries in that location of people that you know that are there, or churches, specific churches there, and just begin to pray over them. Be such an awesome way to do that and incorporate that, you know, in your life. So I'm going to show these up close and personal to you. I do want to let you know that I am an affiliate, which means that I receive a small portion of like a small compensation if you click my link below and do order from that link. Zero pressure. That's not anything that I am all about here at all. But if you want to, go right ahead. It is affordable. I think it's $6 a month. It could be like $11. I should know this. I should have looked it up before I began. What is wrong with me? Before I began talking about it, but I didn't. So I'll be sure to link it below. But it is so affordable, and like this is great too. Like if your grandparents, like you've got grandparents who are like, hey, we want to get something for little Johnny this year, but like we don't really, like we know you don't want more stuff in your house. You know, what can we do? This is like a great thing. Like, oh, please get us a subscription to Letters from Afar. Like how awesome is that? And also, you know, be sure to follow them on Instagram, and I'll link them below. But this is just awesome. I'm so glad that we did it this year. The kids are so glad. Like, it's just fantastic. Now, let me know if you already currently get Letters from Afar, have a subscription. Let me know what you do with your letters after, because I would love to do something with them. And, you know, a way to like showcase them or put them in a scrapbook or something. I mean, they're definitely full size, so I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do with them. But yeah, so let's get a look at them up close and personal. So these are the letters I just love them. This is the Serengeti, Tanzania, and she's just started out with some Swahili, which is so awesome for us. And then she just talks about, you know, the sights, the sounds, even the smells there of the different town or village that she went to. And there's these beautiful illustrations. What I love is in both these letters, there's something to find. So in this one, you had to find all the paw prints, which I just think is amazing. And then you turn it to the other side and just like, look at that lion. Look at how beautiful that is. You have the flag, a little bit of the map, Lake Victoria right there. And I just think it is so beautiful, like just lovely. And let me just show you the other one. This is the second one that we got, or yeah, the one in that package. And again, it's got the good afternoon in Javanese, and it actually talks about like why we call coffee Java, which is so cool. I definitely did not know. And just this beautiful, like the volcano, and talks about the volcanoes there, which like, because this talks about volcanoes, we then of course looked up things about volcanoes that really piqued our interest. And then we found the corpse lilies. She's got a whole bunch of them hidden in the letter. And so, of course, because corpse lilies are so interesting, we had to look that up. And then, of course, we looked up about the Javan rhinos, which are so rare. And it was just beautiful. It's just wonderful. We really enjoyed them. They're stunning. It's hard to believe. Like, this is such high quality. And it's almost like having a piece of art in your home. It's that amazing. So I definitely would encourage anybody to sign up for these, whether or not you have little guys or even big guys. Like, my middle schooler was probably the most interested in these. And I think even like my college student would be interested in these. Like, my husband and I are like really excited about them. So they're definitely for all ages for sure. Definitely check them out. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I am so glad that you stopped in. Please don't forget to subscribe. Subscribing is supporting. Hit a thumbs up if you enjoy videos like this, and hit a thumbs down if you would rather not. And it won't hurt my feelings. It might. I'll probably obsess over it, but it's fine. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Maple and Roots. Join my homeschool community as we talk about all things homeschool and free homeschooling at that. And that is Free Homeschool Year. And yeah, so I will see you guys in my next video. So yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.